speaker from Japan. He is Kohei Nishiyama, lead researcher at Camilo Boken。OK， 西山浩平呢，我来介绍一下他。他是一个连续的创业家。我们用连续这两个字来说呢，其实有包含了他有 IT 的领域，还有一些研发的领域跟新创的募资平台。他曾经呢创了一个募资平台的原型。然后呢，其实在过去，如果你到日本的创投或者是一些文创界提到这个名字，你可能会很有印象。这是 Elephant Design Holdings Limited， 他是共同创办人。也是呢线上社群人们梦想汇集之地 CUUSOO.com 的创办人。现在就让我们来欢迎他 ，Let's welcome Mr. Nishiyama。
So this is what I'm going to talk about today. A blank white sheet of paper. So with a white sheet of paper, what can you do? That is a question that I'm tossing. So one can play with origami tricks and make variety of creations, from dragons to sheep to whatever you can imagine of. And children can play with origami tricks for hours. But with anime otaku, they can take it to a new genre, and a paper can be converted into some figures in a different way. They use CAD, and they use different way to cut the detailed pieces of paper and glue it into different forms. But some finds better use of their creation. They make money out of their creation and find their niche market. For instance, most of dioramas made by fans of miniature trains, these are made all out of paper. And there's a market for this, and people actually pay lots of money to complete their own theme. So we wanted to bring the advantage of these papers into the robotics studies. Papers are accessible, easy to use, and, well, it has infinite applications. So why not try to use that in a field where materials in robotics are still heavy duty? So here we are with a challenge to create an educational system for robotic engineering. And we have a theme to make a robot with paper. So we have a small lab in the University of Tokyo with assistive science in the Department of Engineering. And we're trying to bring an educational system that will prepare children for their future. So we have a basic theory, which is called activity-based learning theory. What it means is that if you build a curriculum based on what children do enjoy already, regardless of what teacher parents tell, the curriculum will have a higher chance to be accepted by children. Why? Because they do it anyway. So if you observe what children do with papers, children make castles, houses, robots. They put the cardboard, they go inside cardboard, stick hands out, and become a robot themselves. And this is a picture taken from Maker Faire in the United States. And you'll see kids wearing cardboard boxes like this. So the research work started from there, and our engineer took those activities made by children into the next level and try to figure out the most simple modular system. So if you can tell them what to make with very simple way, then people or children could advance into some next level. And we also assist teachers how to tell children to take their passion into next level. So you could see these are the PowerPoints and also movies uploaded on the website. And anyone can download this with free of cost. And if you can see, it's step by step. And yesterday we had a meeting with a professor in here, maybe she's here. They wanted to translate this in Mandarin. And if that happens, since this is a license under Creative Commons, it'll spread out. And we wanted to seek resources that are widely available too. So one of the reasons why we decided to choose paper is that anyone, even kids on the street, will have access to the packages. And the packages are usually thrown away when the products are consumed. So most of all these boxes in a supermarket are boxes of cornflake, boxes of chocolate, boxes of tissue papers. When they are out of use, they're usually thrown away, but children could take it away, make it into something else. And it's free of charge too. So if the materials are there, and instructions are there, and there are a teacher who's willing to support, most of the thing needed to start is already at the hands of children. So we are developing different instruction that could be downloaded as well on the form of PDF. And we are also putting the Creative Commons for the commercial use. What it means is that anyone can make money out of these instructions. So we're hoping that some package manufacturer will take these on the back side of the box, printed, distributed to millions of kids. When tissue paper boxes, for instance, are used, they could be opened up, and backside they'll have this already printed. So what does it mean? Governments and schools are trying to come up with new educational system with budget. But if we use the underutilized backside of the box, millions of kids will be distributed to kids' place for free. Well, not for free, but with a marginal amount of investment. And we're trying to do the case studies, see if that really works or not. So we're collecting garbages and opening up and making different fingers and see if it works. So far, our discovery is that tissue paper box are the best. And we also go to the field and we work with teachers and parents, see if it's too difficult, if they like to enjoy doing this with their children in a leisure time or not. And so far, parents do love it, and teachers are willing to take this into their classrooms. And the field study too is that we are letting children play with it. And of course, there are a variety in the acceptance, but so far, children starting from the age of 3 to high school kids, they're well accepted. So the application of these hands goes beyond just paperwork. We're trying to connect this with mechatronics, which means motors and pulleys, and then connect it to internet, to Arduino, to other repository of softwares, and see if they could advance their thinking from just paperwork into the world of robotics, which is basically a sensor-aware network product. Of course, if you start from there, this is too advanced and too expensive. But if children are so into it and they wanted to seek for the next level, we wanted to teach them that there are already available products. So for instance, we keep coming up with different products. We try to connect with Littlebits, we try to connect with Arduino, and every time there's a new product, we test and see if it coexists. And it does. And we also try to seek if the little children have a keen interest on the output, and they do. So those we keep it, and we try to introduce it. There's an interesting study, and this is shocking to a certain extent. On the horizontal axis, you have days in school, 365 days. And on the vertical axis, you have hours, like basically 12 hours. In the matrix of this hour that children spend, the gray zones are the area where they go to school, they stay with parents. The yellow parts if both of the parents are working, they stay in a very gray circumstances. They're in school but not being educated. They're home but not being, with parents. And numbers are shocking too. The yellow zone are much bigger than school time. So what it means is that there's a strong need to come up with something to meet those underutilized cognitive power of children in those days after school. And it was 2 days ago, just before I came to Taiwan, newspaper released a new regulation that they plan to ratify in 2018. It's called free school regulation. It doesn't mean it's for free, but it means is that children who do not go to school but do some curriculum at home can actually gain scores or can actually get credit. In theory, you can do homeschooling. In theory, you can do double schooling. In theory, you could finish the school times in half period. Because, as I said, children spend more time home without doing anything than school hours. So with new regulation coming up, with abundance of hours, with the free material, and with internet, there's a potential to come up with new educational system. So goal for us is that we believe if we combine those readily available resources, we can even reach out children on the street and try to provide them something that will prepare them for the future. We believe in 2040, when these 5-year-old kid, an adult, if they stay with conventional education system, they're going to be preparing what we're producing today. But if we prepare them for the future, they're going to be producing something that we haven't seen yet. And I believe the technology that are already available that has a potential to change us will prepare them for the citizens of the future. So we aim to reach out 1 billion people, which is 10% of our population, to be able to be ready for the future of society. And the big question, I believe, is that we gotta be able to create a new educational system for the future using the distributed free resources. Thank you very much.